And our top focus story, well, in a late night development, the ICC released a statement saying that no penalty or sanctions will be imposed on Bangladesh for not playing in the T20 World Cup, while also guaranteeing the BCB the honor of hosting an ICC tournament between 2028 and 2031. This major announcement paves the way for the blockbuster India versus Pakistan match to go ahead as initially planned on February 15th. Although an official confirmation from either PCB or the government of Pakistan is awaited, the game is pretty much on. Now, moments before the official announcement, the BCB had requested Pakistan to reverse its decision to forfeit the match against India. It came shortly after Pakistan Cricket Board chairman Mohsin Naqvi dropped a clear hint following the PSL auction in Lahore that a potential U-turn on India boycott thread could be on the cards. So that's the big news coming in. A big U-turn is on the cards. For more on this, I'm being joined by CNN News 18's Vineet Ramakrishnan. Vineet, a very good morning to you. This is a big development we are hearing of Pakistan's big U-turn.
Well, yes, good morning, Aishi. And yes, the biggest development here is that the Pakistan Cricket Board and the Pakistan government has in fact sent out an official statement regarding the same, and the U-turn is not now possible. The U-turn has actually happened. Pakistan have backtracked on their boycott threats. This is what we are hearing. The statement really tells you that the PCB in their statement did mention that, they had the words from the Bangladesh Cricket Board, the Sri Lanka Cricket Board, and the United Arab Emirates, the UAE Cricket Board, writing to them, and it is, in solidarity with the regional partners that they have taken this decision. So yes, the U-turn has actually happened. Pakistan tried to politicize this issue. They escalated the rhetoric, and they have ultimately blinked. An ICC statement regarding the same also was sent out late last night. As you mentioned, there is no sanctions on Bangladesh cricket for not participating in the T20 World Cup, and also they would be given the right to host an ICC event between 2028 to 2031. One of the under-19 World Cups is most likely that event would be. But what really comes out of this situation is what really Pakistan gets out of it. Pakistan made all those boycott threats. Nothing has really come to pass for Pakistan Cricket Board. This is more like a face-saving act from PCB. Now they had a lot of demands. They wanted a higher revenue share in the ICC annual revenue model because of the India-Pakistan fixture. That has not been. There's no mention of that in the ICC statement. They wanted bilateral ties to be resumed between India and Pakistan. That is not the case because ICC said it is not in their mandate. It does not come under their purview as well. So Pakistan really not getting anything out of this apart from the fact that, as I mentioned, it was about political posturing right from the word go. And they probably, in the name of geopolitics, they also mentioned in their statement that they stand shoulder to shoulder with Pakistan, pretty much telling you that for Pakistan, it was all about political posturing via this move and nothing much. So ultimately, Pakistan Cricket Board, after all the rhetoric, after what PM Shehbaz Sharif had mentioned or had said in a statement a week before that they will not be playing against India, solidarity with Bangladesh, they have backtracked it. And as I mentioned, the bottom line is Pakistan created a political issue. They tried to escalate the rhetoric and ultimately blinked, as Pakistan would do. And Pakistan's not getting out of this, easy. There's no victory or claim to victory here for Pakistan. Here, from an ICC perspective, again, this is not a negotiation that it has come to pass. It's more of managing a shallow threat the Pakistan cricket team and the board and the PCB Cricket Board were trying to do. But ultimately, yes, the India-Pakistan game will ultimately go ahead on February 15th after a lot of backroom talks. But then again, the bigger question here is PCB trying to politicize this issue and ultimately blinking at the end of the day.
Right, Vineet, like you talked about, this is a shallow threat. So what's the ICC planning to do about the penalties? Because we know Bangladesh has been waived off the penalties, but what about Pakistan? What does the ICC statement say about that?
Well, very categorically, the ICC statement does not mention anything about the penalties. And to be fair, there's no penalties now would be imposed on Pakistan because they ultimately have agreed to play this game. So there won't be any penalties that Pakistan Cricket Board will incur. Yes, all the rhetoric around it, the kind of boycott drama that they wanted to, as I mentioned, it was all about the geopolitics of it, just to create kind of a face-saving act. That is what PCB's Mohsin Naqvi was trying to do, and ever since this boycott threat was, came about, everyone knew that this is not going to pass. The PCB will not stick to their ground because whatever things that they would have mentioned, invoking the force majeure or any other issues, all of them were rebutted by the ICC in a very clear-cut technical manner. So there was no stand or no ground for PCB to really boycott the game. Itself, it was more about creating a scenario where everybody's in kind of tenterhooks. They wanted to hit ICC where it will hurt the most. That was the revenue bit of it, and ICC at the end of the day, level heads really came together. And from a Pakistan side, they would say that they wanted to show solidarity. They went with the decision for their regional partners, which is the UAE and the BCB, but there was also pressure from them. UAE Cricket writing to PCB saying that, look, we stood by you when you needed help. Sri Lanka Cricket Board also writing to PCB saying that we stood by you when you required the help the most. So it is the right time for you to really, not really create this rhetoric. So Pakistan might frame it in a way that they took this decision in solidarity with their regional partners, but then again, it was mounting pressure on PCB, and they knew there was no way out. They will not be getting out of this situation, as victors here. So though no penalties, nothing would be, discussed, because Pakistan ultimately are playing. As I said, Pakistan were trying to posture it from a political posturing point of view. They escalated the rhetoric, but ultimately blinked, similar to how they, created the entire Asia Cup ruckus as well. Remember, they did not come to the ground. The UAE game was ultimately delayed for a month, but then again, did not really happen, and they ultimately blinked.
Right, Vinny. Thank you so much for all of those inputs. And with that, we shift our focus